What's up, my fellow weirdos? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another pick a card reading. So in today's reading, we are basically seeing why you are a badass. Because who doesn't need their confidence boosted from time to time? Who doesn't need their ego stroked from time to time? So basically, you pick a pile and I will tell you why you are a badass. The timestamps will be down below. Please remember, I am not a crystal ass bitch, so keep that in mind. This is pile 1. I believe this is adventuring, but I could be wrong. But this is the crystal for pile 1. Then we have pile 2. I believe this is Auralite, but I could be wrong because I am not a crystal ass bitch, okay? This is pile 3, and I know the name of this, but I forget it. This is pile 4, Lapis Lazuli, I believe. And pile 5 is Amethyst. So if you need some time to pick your pile, feel free to pause the screen. As always, I recommend taking some deep ass breaths, breathing in and out, holding each breath in and out for 4 seconds each before doing the next inhale or exhale, if that makes sense. It's called fourfold breathing. And really seeing what sensations you get while looking at the pile. That is going to help you see which pile it is that is good for you or what your intuition is trying to tell you. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so this is for those of you that picked pile number 1 with this beautiful crystal on it. Let's go ahead and get into your reading. So what I'm seeing here is that you guys are badasses because you aren't scared to look darkness in the face. I'm just looking at this page of voices here, which is basically the page of swords, okay? If you just look at her here. So you guys are not scared to look darkness in the face, and you have a lot of that in this reading. You have the vulture, the shark, the shadow, and you guys are also very, very ambitious because we literally got ambition, we got Aries, I am, the explorer. You guys are very, very ambitious, okay? You guys are here to really help other people through dark times. You guys probably, and it's weird because you do it from behind the scenes. It's not like you want all this recognition for what you're doing. You're not like trying to be in the spotlight, even though you have the star here. So you will get recognized for what you're doing, but that's not like your goal, right? With the vulture and the shark, you like to do things from behind the scenes. And vultures are usually misunderstood. They actually keep disease from spreading in our world, and they are watchers, and that's what I'm seeing here with the page of voices as well. You guys are watchers. You guys are not scared to dive into dark places or to even try to understand dark places, okay? You definitely there's definitely a lot of action. You're not scared to take action on things. You are very committed to things that you get into because we have pravati, devotion. There's kind of like this commitment here. One thing I do feel though for you guys is that you guys are very intuitive. Like you guys know people's intentions. You can spot out people's intentions. You know when something is off or when someone has some kind of like negative intention about you. But I will say this, you guys are still developing your skill, right? With the page of voices here, and we even have the sage reversed. This tells me that you're not all the way quite there yet, but this is why you are a badass, because you can spot out people's intentions. You can spot out when there is some kind of danger or something along those lines, and you're not afraid to face it either. You're not afraid to take action for it. And once again, like with this kind of hidden energy of the shark and the vulture, we also have the gem, which is also about like the hidden gem, right? Like, and the shadow. So you guys don't mind working behind the scenes but you're definitely very motivated to get things done. So you guys are definitely my explorers. You don't mind exploring the deep and the dark places of other people. You are very good at helping them see a higher perspective, a higher point of view. You're helping them fix their focus here is what you do. You help them fix their sight. You help them fix their hope, their perspective. You give them hope again by doing this, okay? You help them realize what they're capable of with and who they really are deep down. You are so good at helping people see their shadow side, okay? You are helping people see the things that they cannot see, because we also have the moon here and the first house and Aries I am. So you're helping people see who they are, and you're also not afraid to look at yourself, or at least you won't be at some point in time, because what I'm getting here is that pile number 1, some of the reason that you possibly kind of struggle sometimes with this is because sometimes you can judge too quickly or not necessarily trust your intuition, or sometimes you confuse your intuition with your own kind of judgments about people, which goes into the shadow. You can sometimes judge people a little bit too early. And then another kind of downside with this Sage reversed here can also be sometimes like being too critical of other people, having like fixed beliefs that you're not being open to, or coming from a place of ego as well, or trying to manipulate and control things because you think that you're in the right and other people are in the wrong. So you do have to watch out for that. You could get a little bit too caught up in right and wrong and good and bad and, you know, this and that, and that really leads to separation, which can actually hinder your progress. So I would just say to watch out for that. But also what I see here is that you're very good, you're very direct with Aries here in the first house and all this ambition energy, and even the shark. Like, you're direct, you know what you want, you know where you're going. You're not necessarily scared to go into places that other people are necessarily scared of. You're not scared to expose things to other people with the moon and the star and the page of voices. You may really want to either help people like by exposing things about themselves to help them heal, to show them what they're not seeing, or you may be some kind of writer, journalist, reporter, or something like that, where you really want to help people see the unseen in some way, shape, or form. Doesn't necessarily have to be like a writer or something like that, but you definitely have a passion and a gift for helping people see what they can't see usually, for revealing truth, and for showing them their true desires as well, I feel like here, for showing them kind of what's hidden in the shadows. But you're definitely into like things that are mysterious, things that are unknown, and you're definitely into kind of getting the truth out there. But I do see with you guys that at least some of you guys will have to perfect this a little, not perfect it, but at least some of you guys will have to work on this. Like, this will evolve, which we're always evolving anyway. So, I mean, don't take that too personally, but some of you guys will be evolving your abilities, okay? With the Sage reversed here and the page of voices, I really feel like this isn't as high as it's going to get. Like, your gifts and just the reason that you're badass is going to get even stronger, okay? Because you are all about fighting for honesty and helping people see what's true. We also have the Shaolin Master, which says be graceful in movement and action. So once again, movement and action. And see, with this Aries in first house energy, you can come across as possibly a little bit pushy, or, you know, a little bit too direct with the shark here. You may even intimidate some people from time to time. But you know, you're going to learn over time how to be more graceful with that, how to go more with the flow with the moon here, and how to really kind of, you know, fall into that sage energy a little bit more. So I also feel like some of you guys may feel undervalued from time to time because you have all of this inspiration, all of this devotion, all of this commitment. From time to time, you may feel like it's not enough or something along those lines. I think some of you guys may have wanted to been in the spotlight at one time, maybe an actress or just known for something, but others of you may have, either been too shy or just remained in the background. So that's not going to be for all of you, but that's just what I'm getting for some of you. You definitely try to work with the subconscious, I feel here. And if you don't, you definitely should. You should definitely get into shadow work or psychology, something along those lines, something to do with the mind and the subconscious and the shadow side of things, because that is why you're badass. Like, you're not scared of horror flicks and darkness and normally like really disturbing stuff. You may even be into like true crime, things of that nature. There's just kind of an ambition here for solving truths or for finding the truth or for dealing with mysterious and hidden things, or for bringing things to light, for bringing things to the public. And you're also very devoted to helping people find themselves. Okay, so that is what I'm getting here for you guys, pile number 1. Let me know down below if this resonated with you. And yeah, we are gonna move on to pile number 2. What's going on, pile number 2? So this is for those of you that picked the second pile with this beautiful crystal on it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Wow. So right away, I'm getting a lot. Okay, so you guys are people. You guys know how to deal with social situations. You know how to deal with people. You're also very good at helping people, at getting people to come together, at mentoring people. With the threshold here, that tells me that you can stand like in the middle of situations and kind of help be like the medium in the situation. And then also we have the mentor here, which tells me that as well. You guys are definitely very wise. You have a lot of divine wisdom, okay? You guys are also probably very resourceful and detail oriented with the mouse and the 6 of Wands here, okay? So I'm really seeing that you help people come together. You help people, you help inspire people in some way, okay? You help inspire people, and that could be through teaching or mentoring. I'm also getting that you guys are very empathic as well here, okay? You guys can feel what's going on around you and the environments around you with the lizard here. Yeah, you guys just like to be around people. You may even be somewhat telepathic. You're probably super creative, like super creative, and you really help people come together. You probably have a lot of friends, or maybe we're very popular, or just have even like a group of friends that you always go to, or other people have always came to you for advice, because we also have the Weaver here, which tells me you're very good at, once again, this threshold, like reading between the lines, weaving new things together, right? Taking inspiration from different places and weaving it together, taking information from different places and weaving it together, weaving together people, groups, introducing people to people, right? You're very good at weaving stories together to make new ones. But something that I'm getting here with this is that you may also need some time to yourself with the lizard and the Cancer card here, okay? Because sometimes being around all these other people with the lizard here, you're it's very easy for you to pick up on what's going on with other people. You just kind of have this like 6th sense. So it's very easy for you to pick up on what's going on. You're very instinctual. You can pick up on other people's feelings. And with Cancer here, it can overwhelm you, and then you can just kind of go into your shell, right? And not want to come out or not want to be around people. And everybody's like, yo, what's going on? Like, where are you? What are you doing? Because you have this divine wisdom about you, because you have Sophia. And you are able to also really kind of be what people need you to be in that time, if that makes sense, because we have the shapeshifter here as well. So I think what this can be, pile number 2, is that sometimes you guys could sometimes be people pleasers in order to try to play the medium or play the diplomat or whatever you want to call it, in order to kind of balance things out or bring people together. And not because you're so sensitive to other people's shit and you pick up on it. So if there's confrontation or animosity or whatever, you pick up on it. And so in order to avoid that, you may be what other people want you to be in that moment. Therefore, you lose yourself. So it's very, very important for you to take breaks and balance this out from time to time. Because yes, this makes you a badass. You can bring people together, but you also have to learn how to use your gifts of basically mentoring people, of bringing people together, of, you know, and also I feel like you guys may be known for something, okay? Because you're, like I said, you're people. Like, yeah, that doesn't mean every person in your life is going to like you, but you have divine wisdom to share. With the warrior here, it says, be fearless and stand strong. So this is telling me that it's very important for you to face your fears. It's very important for you to stand strong and not be swayed by other people, okay? Because you can still bring people together. You can still weave the way without completely losing yourself in the process, okay? Now, I do feel like some of you guys may have the tendency to be a little bit non-committal, or like basically have issues with commitment, or be a little bit flaky from time to time, because you'll get to these points where you lose yourself and then you hide in your shell, right? And you don't want to come out, and you go through this rebirth process. So I think what the cards are telling you is that you have the power to really bring people together. You're a badass because you can bring people together and share this divine wisdom. You can teach people, you can mentor people, okay? You even have revolution here, solar eclipse, and rebirth. So you can change people's lives, literally. You can help people, you can help introduce people with the weaver here to their path. You can help weave them to their paths and weave them together to find harmony, to find community, to find relation, like people that relate. You have a super badass gift for doing this, but at the same time, you can't be everything at once with the shapeshifter here. You can only be one thing at a time. And you need to make sure that you're also being you, that those things that you turn into, that you know, whether you shapeshift into the mentor, whether you shapeshift into back into your shell, whatever you're shapeshifting into needs to be something that is also a part of you, because all of us have different parts of ourselves, right? Like, we don't just have one self and that's it. We all have different parts of ourselves. That's why we have conflicts within ourselves. That's why we have a shadow side. That's why we have a subconscious. That's why we struggle making decisions sometimes, because we have these different parts of ourselves that want different things, okay? Or that are scared of different things. And so you have to try to integrate and bring together, weave together these different parts of yourself, this truth of who you really are in all of these different parts. Like, find the similarities. That's what you're very good at doing anyway, just with other people. So make sure that you're doing that with yourself as well. I'm also seeing here that it's very, very important for you, pile number 2, to have a purpose. Like, if you don't have a purpose, it can also really make you all out of whack, all out of balance, and you don't feel like you have anything to offer other people. You feel like just off track. You feel like you're in chaos. So it's very, very important for you to have a sense of purpose, and to also feel like you are on top of it, okay? That you're on top of it, that you're getting things done, and that you're being recognized for it, that you're, because with the 6 of inspiration here, this is like the 6 of wands, so it's being recognized, it's being victorious. So you also have the seeker here, which is interesting as well. So with this, I kind of feel like, once again, it's very important for you to have a sense of purpose, so you feel accomplished. If you don't have a sense of purpose, you feel lost. You feel kind of like up in the air, and things feel chaotic. You feel all over the place. You feel just ungrounded in a way. So it's very important for you to have a sense of excitement in your life, and that's what I'm seeing here with the 6 of inspiration and the 4 of inspiration. It's important for you to have inspiration in your life. It's important for you to explore new ideas, to explore new things, to find growth as well. It's also with the Seeker, I also feel like this is another card that's kind of telling me that it's important that you don't lose yourself in the process, or that you aren't seeking validation, okay? Because that can also hinder your progress, that you're not seeking validation or seeking some kind of like easy fix with the mouse here, or seeking to be something that you're not. It's very, very important to trust in your own divine wisdom, to let yourself have time just to yourself sometimes, to go through a process of rebirth and centering and getting grounded again, and not losing yourself or going off, you know, path or feeling chaotic, etc. And another thing I'm getting with the Weaver here is that once again, this can be like, are your hands full, right? Are your hands full with strings? Are they tied? Like, where do you need to cut certain cords in your life? And once again, that goes with the Lizard of like being overwhelmed by all of these different things, or all of these different people, or different things that you're doing. So it's very important once again, because if you look at this card, it's like the sword going straight through the middle. It's very important to know which ones to cut, and to know your own truth, to rely on your own truth, okay? And if that truth is telling you that it's time to go within sometimes, or it's time to get off the threshold, okay? It's time to work on yourself, or it's time to, you know, end some certain relationships or projects or whatever the case may be, then that's very important for you to do as well. But basically, you guys are a badass because you can lead people, you can inspire people, okay? You can help mentor people, you make them feel safe, you make them feel like they are comfortable, like they can relate, you make them feel like more hopeful as well. You give them divine wisdom. You are, you know, a very good mentor to them. And I feel like you guys have had so many different experiences with the shapeshifter here that, you know, you're not just one thing either, that you can really help change people's lives in some way with rebirth and revolution here. You may even, you know, do something with other people that is going to change something to help other people as well. So that is what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 2. Let me know down below if that resonated with you, and we're going to move on to pile number 3. Woo! Okay, pile number 3. This is for those of you that picked this beautiful crystal for pile number 3. Let's get into it. Okay, wow. Wow. You guys are some badasses. Okay, so we start off with the Page of Inspiration and the 5 of Materials. Let me hold these up so you guys can see. So right away when I saw these 2 cards, the first thing I thought of was protection, and then the Mother and the Warrior came out, and then the Cheetah and the Crow and all the rest of the cards, and I was like, yes, the biggest thing that's coming for me with this pile is protection. Not only do I feel that you guys like to be protective of others, that you guys like to help others, that you guys like to fight for others, you guys can turn into kind of like this fierce, almost like a fierce mother, okay? Like, if you try to mess with her child, even like a deer, if you try to like go around one of the deer, like the the baby deers, but the does. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. Like, and even if you're a male, because we do have some masculine energy here, so you're not afraid to protect yourself, you're not afraid to protect what you love, okay? And also I feel that you're protected, because we literally have the Ancestors card here, and we have the Crow, which tells me that you guys are very, very much so protected, okay? You guys are also very adaptable, because we have adaptability here, and we also have Traitor here, and Saturn return. So this tells me that you guys have been through some shit in your life, okay? You guys have maybe had a really heavy, hard life. With the Five of Materials here, you guys have made it through some really difficult times and still had to fight your way through. You still had to find your inspiration. You still had to look on the bright side. And even with this Page of Inspiration, you can see this black cat in the card, okay? So it's almost like you've had protection. Like, even though times have been rough, okay, it's like you've had this sense of protection around you. And if you look at this mother, it's like the snake is protecting the eggs, the pearl inside, and then the crow is on this, like, I don't know if it's an egg or just a light or what, but there's this sense of protection. There's this sense of you've been being watched by your ancestors. You've been being watched by something from your past, because the crow can see in the past, present, and future. So you may have always felt very connected to your ancestors, or even if not, I would really look into that. But you may have always felt like there's been someone watching you or someone watching out for you. Like you've had this kind of protective force around you. And I think it's funny that we have the Leo card here, which is the lion typically, and then the cheetah card, which is still a feline, which tells me that once again, there's this drive, there's this, it kind of goes, the cheetah is kind of like a warrior to me, which they very much so pair up. And there's also snakes in both of these cards as well. So that does really tell me that you guys have went through a lot of transformations, have had to deal with a lot of death and rebirth in your life. But you've learned to kind of adapt to new beginnings, right? Because we also have new beginnings here. We also have the Heart Guardian, love, and let yourself be loved. So this tells me that because of the craziness of your life, and I honestly feel like some of you guys may feel so connected to your ancestors, if you do, or your roots, really, because I think that maybe some of you guys, you had family problems growing up. And this may not be for all of you, but I'm like really feeling in this specific pile that there were a lot of family issues. And even if there wasn't issues like with your family necessarily, there may have been issues growing up with poverty, or not having a lot, or not having a lot of money or things, possessions, whatever the case may be. Your material life growing up may have not been the best, or it could have just been your family life growing up may have not been the best, okay? So now you've really learned to look out for yourself, but because of that, you may really guard your heart and the hearts of other people that are struggling, or remind you of you in any way, okay, or reflect back to you in any way. You really try to help and you really try to protect them if you can. There's just a lot of protection in your pile. But Traitor goes with adaptability to me. This is definitely, it says exchange energy to create abundance. So you've definitely learned how to create abundance on your own terms. You've just been through a lot, pile number 3, but you definitely know how to deal with it. Like, you know how to get through it. You're not one of those people that's like, oh my God, the world's out to get me. Like, you may have been like that at one point, but now you're like, okay, like I got this. Like, I know it sucks, but like I can deal with this. So there's definitely that there. And with the Page of Inspiration, this gives you a really good insight into it. So even though you've been in shitty places, now you feel like, okay, like I can move past this because I've done it before. It gives you a sense of hope and renewal. It gives you a sense of inspiration and how to turn kind of a shitty situation into something that is going to be inspiring for you, right? Energy exchange. So somehow basically knowing how to deal with it, coming up with creative ways in which you can deal with the situation. And then we also have Get Curious here, which tells me that you guys definitely are somewhat of explorers. You guys definitely are curious people and like to dabble in places that are unknown and like to try out new things from time to time. You've kind of gotten used to all like the new beginnings, the new changes you've had to go through. So you kind of embrace it at this point, I feel like. And you really let yourself get creative with it. With the Leo card here, the Page of Inspiration and Get Curious, and the Cheetah, you let yourself kind of find the passion in it. You let yourself find the inspiration in whatever issue it is that you're dealing with. So yeah, it's important for you to feel like you have some kind of purpose, and I do feel like it does have to do with possibly helping other people. Okay, helping other people through hard times, helping other people find their passion, helping other people grow, evolve, all of that. And also possibly even something like, I'm really getting possibly like shamanism, or tapping into some kind of like bruja energy. So possibly even like witchcraft, something that's going to help you connect to your ancestors. Plus the crow is very much into things that are hidden, into things that you can't see, psychic senses, etc. And so I definitely feel like your ancestors help you with these abilities, okay? Because this card's right next to that one. So they help you with these abilities. They help you to find this inspiration. So that is basically what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 3. That is why you guys are a badass. You guys are basically my warriors. You guys are also very much protected by your ancestors and your roots. And you also are there and like to protect other people. Okay, now here's the thing though. Here's my thing with protection, okay? When I say that, it's not, what I mean by this is that, and I think you guys have probably learned this lesson or will learn this lesson in your life, is that adaptability, right? Like we were talking about new beginnings. You guys have had to learn how to adapt to new beginnings, how to adapt to change, discomfort, etc. So at the end of the day, it's not necessarily that they're, I guess, protecting you. It's more that they are there for you, okay? They're very, very involved in your life. They help you get through situations, because sometimes we need to go through those hard situations and we don't need to be protected from it. Sometimes we need to flow through it. Sometimes we need to learn the lesson from it. And yes, it can be freaking hard. I get it, okay? I have not had an easy ass life, man. But they are there for you. They are there helping and guiding you through it. And that's what I see here. You may be someone else's guide as well, because you have felt guided or watched by your ancestors. And if maybe you didn't know it was your ancestors, you know, until now, if this is really relating to you, if this is really hitting with you, hitting home with you, you know, maybe you just thought it was just you, or you just weren't sure what it was. But there's definitely a connection here with your ancestors. If we just had the ancestors card and no other cards like really, you know, related to that card, then yeah, like I probably would reference it, but not, you know, get into it too much, not put too much stock on it. But we have the crow, the warrior, the mother, we have the traitor, the heart guardian. Like this is all telling me that you definitely have someone looking out for you. You definitely have someone that helps you grow and evolve, okay? So that is what I'm getting for you guys, pile number 3. Let me know down below if that resonated, and we're gonna move on to pile number 4. What's going on, pile number 4? This is for those of you that picked the 4th pile with this beautiful crystal on it. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. So for your tarot cards, you have the Queen of Emotions and Temperance. Okay, so right away, this tells me what I'm seeing here is that you guys are likely very, very inspired by the moon. Okay, so your cycles probably go with the moon. You probably really, really feel the moon's energy. You're also very, 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 very creative. Okay, we have a lot here indicating that you are very, very creative. We have a lot of Piscean energy here, a lot of water energy here. I mean, you guys are just super, super creative. You don't have to be a Pisces or a water sign. You could just have something in Pisces or just something in your 12th house. Some of you may have Mercury retrograde in your chart, but basically, even if you don't have any of that, what I'm getting here is someone that is super, super, super creative, like creativity out of this world. Someone that is original, someone that creates things that are unique, that are innovative, that are different, okay? That's different. You guys just have a creative vision that is just beyond, okay? So that is what I'm getting so far. Also with the Queen of Emotions and Temperance and the Wolf here, if you guys aren't into rituals or anything like that, I would definitely get into that kind of stuff because you'd probably be very good at it. With Temperance here, you're very good at energy and dealing with energy, feeling energy, balancing energy. You probably go with the flow a lot. You're not very you're not like a fighter, you know what I mean? You're not like a fighter or anything here. Now you do have the Wolf, but the Wolf, at least in this deck, is more of a social creature, okay? It's more about, you know, being around the ones that it loves. And we also have the Womb here, which tells me that, and we have Demeter, which, you know, is the mother, is the nurturer. We have the water guardian. So you guys are very, very nurturing people. You guys probably have this mothering sense about you. Even if you're a man, okay, you could just be very great at helping people through hard times, helping people with their emotions, basically. Now, I do get that you guys don't like to be around people a whole lot. Like with your Wolf, you have your specific tribe, your specific pack, but you're not like a huge people person. Like another pile that we had was, because we have the Hermit, which is retreat and recharge, and we have the 12th house here. So that tells me that you guys are different. And with Mercury retrograde here, which this card has as reinvention, you guys go inwards. You express your emotions inwards. You express your creativity inwards. So, I mean, you express it outwards too, but it comes from within you. And you're also, with the Spider and Mercury retrograde here, you're also very good at reinventing things, taking things, and with Temperance here, taking things and making something new with it. So almost like alchemy in a way, right? Taking lead and making it gold in some way is what I'm seeing here for you guys. So you guys are also very good at mediation, mediating situations or mediating certain issues that may be going on in your life, or just mediating certain people, basically, okay? Now, a few things I'm getting here though is that, and also I want to talk about this real quick, we have Dare to Dream here. So you guys are definitely dreamers. You guys are very, very mystical. You guys are very, very connected to your emotions. Probably huge empaths. You can probably really feel other people's energy, which is why you're likely a lot more introverted, okay? And the Womb tells me that as well. There's just this, you guys are just like, you guys are a life force for creation. You guys are here to create. Your creative powers are out of this world because you create from your heart with the heart here. You guys have a huge heart. And that's another reason why you are more introverted, because you can just pick up on so many things and you have such a big heart, and it's hard for you to create boundaries with the boundaries card here, okay? I feel like it's hard for you to create boundaries because you also have patience, and Temperance can also be patient. So I feel like you guys are very patient people, and I see that here with the Hermit as well. Here you're very meditative. Like you don't try to cause a ruckus. You're not like very you're not fighters or anything, okay? You're just like, let me do my thing, let me just be away from everybody. Like that doesn't bother you, and if it does, then this is probably not your pile, because that's like apparent in this pile. So anyways, like, yeah, you like to protect your family and the ones that you love with the Wolf here. You like to be around them and have a sense of them in your life, but you're not big on like, you don't need people, okay? Plus you're a huge nurturer, but I feel like with this nurturer card, like, yeah, you can nurture your friends and family and stuff, but I also feel, and you have this like motherly intuition, this motherly instinct, but I also feel like you also need to nurture your creative projects if you don't already. Like that's why the Womb is here. Like you are here to nurture creation, okay? You are here to nurture creation. Now what I'm also getting with the Hermit and 12th house here and all this watery energy is that You guys may have went through your life almost feeling like life was just too much for you. Like you just couldn't hang. Like you would look around and feel like, oh my God, how do all these people just go about their daily lives, go about their daily task? And I'm like struggling here to even, you know, deal with all of this, because your emotions are so freaking powerful. Pile number 4, like they're so powerful, but you're here to learn how to balance those out, okay? That's why that's a part of your badassery, if that's what you want to call it, is learning how to balance out your emotions. And also because you're patient, because you can remove yourself. But anyways, once you create boundaries, like I said, some of you may still be struggling, some of you may be on different timelines of this path here, so just keep that in mind. But with the Hermit in 12th house here and all this water energy, I feel like at one point your emotions were just too much for you. Life was just too much for you, and so you may have had to somehow escape, okay? So you may have had to escape. So this means that you could have literally just moved away from people, you could have literally isolated yourself, or you could have like actually escaped. You could have been an addict, an alcoholic, something along those lines, fell into some kind of addiction, because we do have Temperance here, which can a lot of the times come up in like addiction types of readings, right? Because we try to, and that's what you're here to learn, how to like really moderate your emotions and how to go with the flow and let them run through you instead of attaching to them with the woof there and letting them overpower you, okay? And that's why the spiders here, it's like learning to spin your own web, learning to hold yourself up on your own web and not need anybody else, or to hold yourself and your emotions up instead of letting them overpower you and not having a place to fall, okay? But I think the biggest reason why you guys are so badass is because with this Temperance card, you can take your emotions, you can take this emotional power that you have and use it as your creative power, use it as your own sense of power, spin your own web with it, create with it, you know, because and use it to fill the womb, right? Like it's born in the womb, if you want to call it that, or in your heart, basically. And learning how to take that emotional power and do something with it, which is why I think you'd be amazing in rituals and alchemy and things of that nature, which is why you do amazing working with the moon and the moon cycles, okay? I mean, I really feel like, you know, if you're relating to this, you guys would do so good with alchemy. Now, you guys could also end up being healers, okay? Or traveling the world and healing, something along those lines, being some kind of healer to help people with their emotions, okay? Because you guys have this nurturing vibe about you, but first it's important for you to learn how to kind of let your emotions flow and to balance out your own emotions and use those emotions as your power instead of fearing them or blocking them out or attaching to them or isolating yourself. It's definitely important for you to have space to yourself, I see. So I'm not saying to not do that, but because in meditation, in this space to yourself, in a healthy form of escape, okay, like meditation, and it's not even that we use meditation to escape, we use meditation to quiet down our minds, right? We use meditation for a number of different things, really, but it's a healthy form of really letting your emotions flow through you. So it's really important for you guys, and specifically to have time to yourself, time away from other people that may be draining you, etc. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 4. Let me know down below if this resonated with you, and we're gonna move on to pile number 5. What's going on, pile number 5? This is for those of you that picked pile number 5 with the amethyst, okay? So, this pile is a little different because 3 of the animal cards came out instead of 2, and also because of the actual cards that you guys have, okay? So, this is very interesting, actually. I'm still actually trying to put it all together, but I will tell you this, okay? There is a lot of duality in this pile. There's a lot of struggle in this pile, especially with separation. The first thing that kind of came to me randomly was that you guys could be almost very good at business, okay? Very good at business, but there's also a level of almost feeling like you can't be vulnerable or protect yourself here. And like I said, this pile's a little different. So yes, I'm gonna do my best to tell you why you're a badass, okay? But at the same time, I do see some things here I feel we need to talk about when it comes to some things that you may be struggling with if you picked this pile. We have a lot of dark energy here, okay? We have the 8th house, we have Black Moon Lilith, we have the Scorpion, the Wildling, we have the Siren, okay? We have illusions. So I really feel that you guys may be somebody that is somewhat successful, or at least has the ability to be very successful, but you may self-sabotage with the 7 of inspiration here. You may feel that you can't trust people, or you may feel this intense energy of separation, okay? And that's a huge key word with this pile, because we have the 1 card. The 1 card talks about how we're all connected, we're all one, okay? Everything in the universe is connected, it's all one. It's kind of transcending duality, it's transcending separateness, okay? It's transcending the ego. And I feel that some of you have trouble doing this from time to time. Sometimes you do, but other times it's hard for you, okay? Now, there's a lot of sexual power in this reading as well, because we have Black Moon Lilith, we have illusions, we have the Siren and the Scorpion and the Wildling and the 8th house. So there's tons of like references to sexual power, tapping into your sexual power here, and knowing your sexual power. I'm not sure if you do or not, and then I'm also picking up with this Air Guardian, shift your perception here, that you have this ability to possibly look at things as negative or separate. Once again, like that's evil, that's good, that's bad. It's this energy of separating things, this energy of being stuck in these kind of old beliefs that maybe you've grown up with. Because we have the Mirror Guardian here, which once again goes back to this 1 card. It says take time to reflect. So it's understanding that everything in the universe is connected, that darkness is not necessarily evil, but also very necessary. And actually, some of you may have already realized this. I'm just picking up that I feel some people that picked this pile may have not realized this, but realizing this is what's going to be your strength, okay? This is what's going to truly help you find your power to grow, to evolve. Once you really embrace who you are as a whole and who everybody else is, because you may come across as this mysterious person, and some of you may hate that about yourselves, okay? Or some of you may try to hide that about yourselves with illusion, mystery, the 7 of Swords, the 8th house, the Wildling. There's this wild part in you with the Lion, you know, the Wildling and all the Siren, Black Moon Lilith, all of this. There's this wild part in you that makes you absolutely beautiful. You don't like to follow the rules or the systems of society, and that could also be what these 2 tarot cards are saying. You don't like to follow the systems of society and do what society wants you to do. You like to kind of do things your own way. You like to kind of go against the grain with the Wildling here. You like to kind of live on the outskirts and really embrace your uniqueness, or have the freedom to embrace your uniqueness. But at the same time, I feel that some of you are scared. Like I said, there's this duality in this pile, and I'm picking up on it in this reading. So anyways, but you guys have 3 of like some of the best cards that you could have in this deck: the Scorpion, the Eagle, the Lion, which also tells me that you guys can somewhat be very protective and very hidden and really hide certain parts of yourself away, so people don't try to take advantage of you. Okay, and I think that it's very important with the air guardian here that you're able to shift your perception. You guys are badasses because of this darkness that you have within you. You are badasses because once you learn how to take that darkness, once you learn how to use that darkness, and honestly accept that darkness for what it is, okay? Accept that darkness for what it is instead of trying to get rid of it or trying to remove it. Then you can truly embrace your power. It doesn't mean you have to be, you know, it doesn't mean you have to go around and do terrible things. That's not what I'm saying. But being able to face your own fears, being able to face your own darkness is what is going to help you, because we also have the share wisdom card here, which tells me that you guys are definitely here to help other people possibly see that everything's connected, that we're all one anyway, right? Or even see past the illusion of separation, since that's a huge thing for you guys as well. Now we also have Gaia Earth, and I think this really goes into the Muse of Pentacles. And once again, I think it really goes into accepting things for how they are, being able to look at the reality of things and not things under an illusion, obviously, but also being able to truly see that everything is connected anyway, right? That, you know, that it doesn't, that this idea of separation, yes, it's necessary in certain circumstances to learn lessons or to explain certain things, etc. But it's also important for your spiritual growth to see things at a higher level with the eagle here, to shift your perception, to really see that things are connected, to see it from a spiritual perception, to see it as everything is one, etc. So you guys are very much likely into the occult, into just darker things, okay? Because if you're not letting this darkness out of you, it's going to express itself in its own way, and it's going to come out through other things, like getting into the occult, getting into things that are more hidden, esoteric, things of that nature. The eagle is also about stepping into the unknown, but with the scorpion right before it, there's a fear here. There's like, well, what if people have bad intentions? Or, you know, there could be also resentment here as well from the past that you guys may need to work through to embrace the power of the eagle. And the lion is about having courage, okay? So having courage to dive into the unknown, because eventually this is going to help you share wisdom. This is going to help you move past these resentments and these so-called blockages, these lessons that may be feeling like they are holding you back. I think you guys also may be somewhat of like truth seekers, like searching for truth in mysterious places, or searching for truth in hidden places in some way as well. But with all of your cards here, I definitely think that you are here to possibly experience some hard times throughout life, okay? But the reason that you're a badass is because you're gonna take this and learn to be successful in this earthly realm with it, to learn how to balance out the spiritual and the material realms, to learn your own bravery. You're going to be someone that is well liked and well respected, okay? Someone that people listen to, someone that is able to see through illusions. You're also, with the siren here in Black Moon Lilith, like I said, with that sexual energy, you're also very probably attractive to people. You probably have this certain sex appeal about you, or this tempting energy about you as well. But yeah, pile number 5, that is what I'm seeing for you guys. Definitely a different reading. Let me know down below if it resonated. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Let me know down below what other pick a card topics that you would like to see this month, because now that all of the monthly horoscopes are done, I am going to be focusing on other creative videos. So let me know down below what you think. I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.